guess it makes more sense for you to start recording first because you can edit it more easily than I can, I guess.
Well, we're recording anyways. We're ready to go Sunday morning.
It's not Sunday morning. I don't care what Nancy Pelosi said.
Sunday morning.
You're so obsessed with Nancy Pelosi. It's just Nancy Pelosi that, man. Nancy Pelosi this.
She's hot. She's a babe.
I wonder what she looked like. You know, when she was younger, she could have been a babe. You know, I don't know.
You know, I used to be Mina from Twice, but you know,
now these days it's Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi does it for me.
Her Lockheed Martin stock is gonna do amazing.
You know, that's true. She's very rich, so she could take care of me. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's got Oprah money. Well, not really.
No one's got Oprah money. Not even Oprah.
No, Oprah definitely has Oprah money. That's the whole point of being Oprah. You had to put up with Stedman, and you got Oprah money.
Ladies, I got McMuffins.
Oh, bitches love McMuffins.
We were in Las Vegas one time, me and some friends and stuff. Because I had some friends that were in the World Series of Poker.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Got
like second or third, right?
Something like that. He became a millionaire, and then
I thought a lot of his money was staked by other people though. So like
that's another one of my friends who's also a millionaire.
Oh, okay.
He's like he's made tons of money off of other people playing poker. But yeah, we were in Vegas for the World Series of Poker because they would rent a house all summer in Vegas for to play poker, and we went up there for me and other friends went up there for like a week. We were just out there getting fucked up and causing trouble and stuff. And one morning, really, it was like 6 or 7 in the morning, but we'd been up all night drinking and stuff. We went to McDonald's and got a bunch of McMuffins. We had leftovers. We were carrying them back to the place. Just walking the strip like, ladies, we got McMuffins.
But meanwhile, it was just a bunch of men handing you business cards with naked women on it.
Not business cards, flyers. Like, basically like...
The last time I went there with... I haven't been to Vegas in like 15 years, probably. The last time I went there, Court tried to collect as many of them as she could.
Yeah. They're like shitty zines. Titty zines. That's what I should call them. Titty zines.
Or tittings. Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Ladies, gentlemen, NBs, this is VHS KvLT. Good morning, Sunday morning. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, I'm Sweet Kyle. That's Mean Sean.
I'm not mean.
Yeah, but
I've been described as a nice brother.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta create the dichotomy, though, the right environment. And since I'm Sweet Kyle, you gotta be Mean Sean.
Sweet Kyle loves his vagina stacks.
Except for I'm using the derogatory version of sweet, where it's like, oh, he's got a little sugar in the tank, huh? You know, where basically they're trying to look.
Oh yeah, he's a confirmed bachelor.
Yeah, he's a little light in the loafers. Last week I mentioned anti-war, anti-imperialism, but not immune to propaganda, machismo, violence solves problems sometimes. Blah, blah, blah.
I think I talked to Mom about this, but like I am generally anti-war or at least anti-aggression, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, if someone pushes you, you can push back.
Yeah. But I mean, still, I would try not to lean into
the Clint Eastwood style of being a man.
There's plus there's a lot of like aggressive, like let's go Ukraine kind of propaganda, which is fine. I mean, they're the underdogs, but it is. I try not to lean into it, right? Because it still is like
there's a butt coming for sure.
But. You hear that? Oh, yeah.
Прийшли окупанти до нас в Україну, форма новенька, воєнні машини, та трохи поплавився їх інвентар. Байрактар.
This is a dope-ass song that is in celebration of the Turkish drone known as the Bayraktar.
Yeah, the Bayraktar that's been destroying Russian armored vehicles left and right.
It's just this song's dope as hell. It's crazy. So I've heard this phrase get tossed around in general. Like a few times, it was definitely from the right wing Azov battalion stuff, but they keep referring to Russians as orcs, which I think is there's something about it where it's like, especially when the Azov battalion was using it to refer to Muslim soldiers and they were soaking the bullets in pork fat or whatever. That's obviously like their that's fucking racist type shit. But just referring to the Russian invaders as orcs in general, I think is pretty interesting. I did like that orcs, the concept of an orc has gotten so universal that all around the world damn orcs.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah.
I really feel like countries should stop investing so much money in tanks and armored vehicles. Because one dude with a fucking really modern RPG, but still just an RPG, will just destroy an entire column of armored tank and personnel carriers.
I mean, based on this song and the video accompanying it, people should just buy Rektar drones. That's another thing too.
Well, we actually know one of the very first drone pilots, right?
Yeah.
He was 2001. He joined the army, and a couple years later, he was talking to me about flying drones.
Yeah, drone warfare is also like disgusting generally, but fucking Bayraktar.
I don't necessarily agree with the U.S. Drone policy, but
drone war,
if it's used in defense, fair game.
Yeah, better than endangering your actual soldiers, right? You just send the drones out. That's fine. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I just fucking they got me. I'm convinced. It'll be if Ukraine commits any war crimes during this war, it's gonna be really hard to convince me that they did. You just play this song and be like, nah, I don't think so.
It's really hard. As the defensive, what are they supposed to do to commit a war crime at this point? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's pretty easy to commit war crimes.
I guess they can execute prisoners of war, which they kind of implied they would do to artillerymen who were firing on civilians. So again, at one point, like if you fire on civilians, I don't think you're considered a prisoner of war at that point, according to the Geneva Convention. There's a lot of that's the weird thing too, is like after World War I and World War II, all the countries came together and like these are the rules for war, guys.
Rules. Yeah, you'd think they'd be like, let's just not have war, but I guess they were pragmatic enough to be like, well, war is gonna still happen, so let's set some guidelines. Fuck, man. What a crazy ass Earth. This is why the aliens won't come visit. Goddamn it.
My personal belief is that aliens are not really that much different from humans, you know?
No, they're so advanced, they're beyond conflict.
Yeah, okay.
They use hug energy.
That's not what I've read in any sci-fi ever.
They're like, let's hug it out. Let's hug it out.
They're like hug werewolves.
We hit him with a little Bayraktar. Bayraktar. Let's hear a little more.
До нас барани для восстановления великой страны, найкращий пастух баранячих отар.
Bayraktar.
Hell yeah.
Bayraktar.
Orville Peck's got a new album out that I've been listening to and shit. But
does he? I was listening to Yola's album from like 6 months ago, a year ago maybe.
Pales in comparison to Bayraktar. There's never been any song as good as Bayraktar. Maybe some of the Beatles.
You got like a Stevie Wonder joint in there somewhere, maybe?
Yeah, Stevie Wonder. But yeah, no, fucking Bayraktar all the way. All the way, Bayraktar. So what's good? How you crippin'? How you living? What's it all about? What's it mean?
Most of my day I spent dealing with a child that screams.
He's a screamer.
He's either eating or pooping or screaming or sleeping. And if he's sleeping, I better be laying right next to him. Otherwise, he's not sleeping for very long.
What a jerk. Yeah, when last time I saw him like a week ago, you put him in his swing, and he immediately sat up and was like, "Fuck this! I'm not sitting in here."
Yeah, this is bullshit. You carry me around, goddammit.
Yeah.
And you talk to me. I am a man. I am a baby man.
He is kind of like a man. He's got like the CEO of a factory. He's like the boss of a factory kind of vibe to him.
No brakes. Work on the line.
Yep.
So what about you? What have you been up to? Elden Ring. Elden Ring again. Elden Ring.
The lands in between. Elden Ring. At this point, I'm not even sure if I am enjoying it anymore.
Yeah, or you just bitter about it.
I just have to play. I just gotta beat it. But since it's open world, and I have this problem where like I'm not sure if I'm enjoying it anymore, and I want to beat it and stop playing it, but also like I can't.
That's basically every video game I've ever played for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I'm like I gotta make sure I don't miss anything. Well, it's taking forever. It's too big, and a lot of the early reviews about it and shit were like, "This is how you do an open world," because you know it's not running around collecting shit and blah. You know, it is a little bit better than most open worlds, but like, it's still pretty repetitive to be honest. You know, the environment's changed quite a bit. I don't know. It's a good game, but like. I don't know, I guess I just don't like video games.
I feel like every time we talk about video games, that ends up being your conclusion. It's like, I guess I just don't like video games anymore. And then you keep playing them.
Yeah. They just say, you know, the big ones get hyped, and I'm like, oh, maybe I've put like 50 hours into Elden Ring. I've like legitimately enjoyed it, but it's got flaws, the same flaws that most video games have, where the end of the day, I'm like, what is even the point? But I guess it's just a distraction. It's entertainment. Big thing though, a lot of people, the big push for this one was like, this is the most accessible from software game yet. Even new players can jump on with Elden Ring, and like, there's like some convenience and quality of life improvements, but like fucking nah, like
no, they can't.
Yeah, you still have to like have a lot of prior knowledge about how their games operate. You're still gonna have to do like research on the internet how to do certain shit. Like I've played all of their games pretty much, but I've only beaten Bloodborne because I get burnt out on video games. But I have like prior knowledge about how the Dark Souls games and Demon Souls operate and stuff, but like that helps you with like maybe stat allocation, maybe. But like everything is under so many layers of like esotericism in the game. Like nothing is inherent. Like and basically just wander around, and then they've done this. So in the Dark Souls games and Demon Souls, your character moves pretty slow and is kind of like clunky and tanky, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's all right in those games because the bosses like really telegraph their moves and they're like a little bit slower. But in the other games, Bloodborne and Sekiro, the combat's like way faster and you have more movement options and stuff. So the bosses in those games like have huge combo strings and they're like able to jump across the whole battlefield, you know, do crazy shit. What they've done in Elden Ring is made your character a bit more like the Dark Souls games, but then still kept making the bosses like Sekiro and Bloodborne.
No. I think the problem is you just suck. You're a suck.
I haven't had like any crazy trouble with any of the bosses exactly, but it's like there's can you just like unless you're a fucking amazing Dark Souls player, you can't just like straight up go easily like toe-to-toe with them. Like
maybe you can't, but I can. I've never played a single Dark Souls game ever. Dark Souls.
Yeah.
My soul is as light as a feather.
I mean, they're not like super difficult after you do them a few times. I haven't had trouble figuring them out, but it's like, I don't know. So it's something, there's like a disconnect between how your character moves and a lot of the boss interactions. But then some of them are easy as shit. So,
did you ever beat that tree sentinel?
Oh yeah, as soon as I got a horse, no problem.
You just ran him down.
Yeah, you just basically just fucking have a horse battle with him. If you're on the horse, or if I'm on the horse, in my experience in the game, fucking, I can beat anything. No problem. Been killing dragons on my horse.
Fucking Mongol over here.
Yeah. Fucking, I think
some goddamn Gajingas Khan. Gajingas.
Like I said,
I like to say it the weirdest way possible.
50 hours in the game. I don't know if I'm close to the end at all. I've been doing shit out of order too, because I like went to check to see like the recommended order to do like areas and bosses in and stuff, and I've been doing shit out of order. Like I killed a boss, because there's a period of the game where I was playing where like I was like, damn it, the difficulty spiked quite a bit, and then
you're like just in the wrong area.
And I was like leveling up pretty fast because I was getting a lot of runes or a lot of souls from him and shit. And then after I like cleared out, did the stuff in that area, I went and did another one, and I was like way too overpowered for it. So I like went and checked it out, and I was like, oh yeah, I just did shit completely out of order, I guess. But got a cool ass sword from one of the tougher bosses, and then that made me change my build. So now I'm just fucking.
I'm not an axe guy anymore. I'm a sword guy.
Yep, I'm like a paladin. I'm throwing lightning bolts and fucking shooting fire everywhere.
What, paladins shoot like religion everywhere?
Holy fire.
Only at the undead
fire.
Or demons.
Yeah, there's fucking all these things are demons, I think. There's not any of the live people you run into in this game. That's another thing too.
Shoot a bunch of dead folk.
I was sort of hoping, since George R. Martin, like the big thing was, he was helping come up with the story. I was hoping it was going to be thematically
interesting
or different than the other like Dark Souls games, but it is still just that like fucking, oh, the world's already dead and you're just in the boring medieval apocalypse, and oh, you're tarnished, oh, you're defiled, oh, you gotta blah blah, you gotta destroy the. It's all like the same shit that's in all of them.
So they paid George R. Martin millions of dollars for nothing, is what I just heard.
I honestly have. There's like nothing in it that seems to have the hallmark, like his fingerprints on it, that I've experienced. There's like a spooky lady that hugs you a lot, and you get a debuff from hugging her. So maybe that's it. That may be George R. R. Martin. That sounds like some of his stuff. But yeah, so like when it came out, everyone 10 out of 10, fucking best game of all time. I give it like fucking 7 out of 10. It's still just kind of wandering around doing video game shit. Oh, and also, since I went to the harder area first and got that badass sword and like leveled up the sword and shit, like fucking, I'm just plowing through shit now. So hopefully I'll be done soon. I accidentally trivialized the game.
That's every joy I have in a video game. Hopefully it'll be done soon.
Yeah, that's what the thing with video games is, like, start playing them, fucking love them for like 2-3 days, and then I'm like, I've got to beat it and just not ever look at it again.
Hopefully I'll be done soon.
There's like people that have already beaten Elden Ring, of course, because there's
because people play it for like sweaty, 24 hours straight. Yeah.
But there are like, people immediately like going back and doing New Game Plus and starting new games and making new characters and shit. And I'll never play this game again.
There really hasn't been that many games I've ever played again. I guess some of the Mario games I played a bunch of times, right? Metal Gear Solid, right?
Yeah.
I played Knights of the Old Republic probably a couple times too. But that's it.
I like Dragon Age Origins. I played that game like 3 times.
Which one's is Origins the first one?
Yeah. Yeah, and Mass Effect 2.
The Witch Woman in that one.
2 a couple times. That's about it, I think. I used to like BioWare games a lot. I used to like video games a lot. Not anymore. I kind of like don't. I don't know. They're like
kind of done.
Too much of a time commitment. They're not very rewarding or fulfilling. They're not for me anymore, I don't think.
They're younger man's game.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying, I guess. Anytime I get tricked by the hype.
Which is apparently a lot of people got tricked by the hype. I don't know if tricked is the right word, but a lot of people are buying into the hype.
Well, a lot of people, I think, did get tricked by all the reviews saying like, "Oh hell yeah, you can! This is the most accessible one yet. No problem. Anyone can play this one." And then immediately people are like, "No, this shit's still fucking hard." And it's like, yeah, it is. Like the shit that makes it easier is there's more checkpoints and like a different version of checkpoints, so that you if you lose to a boss, you won't have to run through a whole area, and hopefully do well enough to be on a good enough playing field to fight the boss again. Because in the Dark Souls games, like, you die to the boss, have to run through a whole bunch of shit again. You get to the boss and like you're already almost dead anyways, right? This one is like you die to the boss, walk 10 feet, you go fight him again, no problem. But so that's convenient, but like that doesn't make the encounters any easier. And like I said, the movement difference between some of the boss characters and your own character is kind of ridiculous, especially if you're not familiar with the game at all. So I imagine a lot of people hopped into it, and first of all, you start playing the game, you have no fucking clue where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do, really. So that's probably a big problem for a lot of people. And then as soon as you get to the first boss, fucking, he's just gonna fucking push your shit. So I imagine a lot of people just gave up. Which, sure, it makes sense. It's like a niche game, niche style of game anyways.
A niche style game?
It just got so hyped that everyone decided to play it, but that's what happens with like every video game now.
It's all about the marketing and the campaign, the PR campaign. Just like the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
The most embarrassing thing about it, about Elden Ring, is like the people that are hella into like Soulsborne From Software games, and like it's like their personality trait, and like they take so much pride in being good at a video game.
It's like, look at me, like I'm a real cool guy here.
Wait, because we already talked, it's lame for people to like think that being good at video games is meaningful or even really exists in most video games. You know what I mean? Most video games are made to be beaten by anyone. But like the people that are hella into these games are just like, because people are complaining about the accessibility options in the game, which are non-existent. Like there's not even a colorblind mode or a way to turn any settings off to prevent like photosensitivity. You know what I mean? There's nothing in it. So people with legitimate complaints about this stuff have brought it up, but then immediately the From Software fans will be like, just play a different game, pussy. You gotta get good.
What does fucking being colorblind have to do with it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, you gotta get good with you. Hey, make your colorblind eyes work, you damn bitch.
Exactly. I don't know. They're just fucking lame and sweaty. It's like, yeah, the game is a little bit more difficult than most modern video games, but like fucking...
It's no Battletoads, you know?
Yeah, and it doesn't make you cool. You know what I mean?
Like Battletoads.
You've spent hours of your life getting better at this video game.
Like Battletoads.
Yeah. You're whack. You're still just a nerd. Like, don't ever put an easy mode in the game. It's like, there could be difficulty sliders. Just play on the difficulty you prefer. Fucking loser.
Unless you've beaten Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the NES, I don't give a shit what you think.
They act like it's always gonna ruin the integrity of the game.
The fucking integrity in a video game.
This is a fucking mass consumer entertainment product. Like, fucking, it's gonna.
This is made to make $1 billion.
Yeah, it's gonna destroy the vision of Auteur Miyazaki. It's like, no, this is a video game, motherfucker. I don't care that he's like part of overcoming. The game is about overcoming challenges. Man, I don't give a fuck. The game's about fucking dirty ass tarnished piece of shit who needs to burn.
If you think a fucking video game is a challenge, I hope you never face an actual real challenge in your actual real life. You goddamn little pussy ass bitch.
Well, just the idea of I mean, video games are art or blah blah. Fuck no, it's not. I don't want. Don't try to elevate video games to that type of shit. You know what I mean? It's like fucking lame.
Yeah, that's been another video game rant by VHS KvLT. Give us money. Watch us play video games on Twitch.
I was talking to my friend about just the internet in general because she was having like some like social issues, social drama that happened to. But I mean, whatever. It's the internet, and I was like, internet's whack. I don't like using it. I don't like talking to people on the internet. I don't want to interact with people, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, well, you probably should to, like, promote the podcast and shit. And I was like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, fuck that podcast.
I don't know who the fuck I would promote this podcast to, because it's like, hey, general population of the United States, everything you like, I think it's fucking whack. And I have a whole bunch of reasons why.
The only thing you like to like is Twice and just Mina.
No, I love all the girls in Twice. I'm on a different tip now. Fucking Alexa Demi from Euphoria. That's what it's all about now.
Wait, isn't she the drug addict one?
Nah, that's Zendaya.
No, that's the one that hangs out with Fezco.
Nah, that's some.
I don't know any of the real names but Zendaya.
Oh, I heard. What's her character? Her character name is Maddie.
Maddie. Okay.
Yeah, she's fierce.
Okay, mean is what she's mean. Well, everybody in that show sucks. Like Nate should be in jail and in therapy.
It's like fucking. I don't, man. Fuck, the show's so fucking weird.
Fucking ridiculous. The first season was pretty good. The second season really felt like it varied into some like CW tropes.
I still love it because it's like it's got everything that I want to watch it for.
Penises, drugs,
drugs and violence. It's shot really well. They're working like 16-hour days, and it takes them a month to film an episode because Sam Levinson doesn't know what he's doing apparently, but it ends up all right. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. The sex, drugs, violence. That's dope. I'm into it. Fucking. Did you watch the last episode?
Yeah, I watched the season finale.
When the fucking Fez and his
Ashtray
fucking get raided by the police. Is like, man, what show am I watching? I think it would be. They should just veer off in the third season and just make the show about Fez and like the shit he gets up to.
In prison with Nate's dad.
That'd be much more interesting. Oh shit! I forgot. Nate's dad's an interesting character too.
I want to talk about the Nate's Chekhov gun, which constantly never goes off.
I like that he brought his gun
to do nothing.
It was just his dad, and then didn't even show it to him.
And he brought his gun just to trick out the audience. You know what I mean? It was it was like, well, that was stupid. That's just piss poor writing.
Yeah,
but it's Euphoria.
Yeah, that shit rules. That was I did like the other scene with him and his gun where he was in Maddie's room and was gonna like blow his head off in front of her. That's fucking nuts. Like
give me the tape or I'm gonna fucking suicide all over your bedroom.
Yeah. Can you imagine how crazy that shit would be? That'd be traumatizing as fuck.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see crazy shit depicted in like film and stuff though. That's wild.
And she still loves him or is infatuated with him. Sort of.
I was gonna say it's because he's got the good dick, but then they've shown that that's not the case.
Yeah, he doesn't. He has trouble getting up with the ladies because he's a gay and doesn't want to admit it.
I don't know if that's the case. It seems to have some sexual hang-ups. But what's dope is in the one episode where they showed the play or whatever. that musical scene with all the football players. That fucking ruled.
That entire those 2 episodes with the play, I kept I was like, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, there's no high school ever anywhere in the country that has this kind of production value for their fucking high school play.
There's like fucking stage shows in London that don't have the production.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was crazy. There was all kinds of scenes, like 100 different actors.
The
special effects
rotated and shit.
Yeah,
it was awesome. The fucking rules. That's why the show's good. It's like it's fucking just the height of trash.
No, it's realistic for what teens are going through these days.
No,
that's what I read. I read that on Reddit.
No, because kids now don't even like partying and fucking stuff.
Yeah, that's why. Like, research says that they're having sex less than anybody ever had sex.
Yeah, and they don't do drugs or drink or anything. They're
dumb
losers.
Kids.
They're all in fucking Hassan's Twitch chat room. That's where all the fucking Zoomers. Just watching people on Twitch, watching other people live their life. They're too scared, man.
Watching other people play Elden Rings.
Hell yeah, man! They're too scared to play Elden Ring. They're not tough like me, a tough masculine man who can beat video games. If I do beat it, I might
get bored and stuff
because it's difficult or anything. I just I want it to end. Video games don't need to be 100 hours long. That's another problem with video games, like compared to why movies and other media are better. Like fucking.
Well, they got to justify their $60 price tag, right?
It's like not a sustainable business model, or it doesn't provide enough artistic value for the exploitation it creates. I think probably just get rid of video games, or at least at the scale they're made at now.
If you're gonna exploit something, it has to provide artistic value.
I mean, it provides very little value at all, you know. It's just, I think I've mentioned before I'm a bit of a Luddite, but I think like circa 1995, the technology we reached at that point.
That's where we need to go.
That was it. Yeah, we should revert back to that and never advance any further as far as like internet and digital electronics and stuff go. We just stop there.
I'm all for bulletin boards.
Yeah, fucking it was fine. It was perfectly fine.
Everybody, let's play Mech Warrior.
You should play the From Software games since you love Armored Core made by From Software.
If they make an Armored Core game, I'll play it.
I haven't made an Armored Core game in like 15 years.
I know, like 2007 I think was the last one.
Now they're making Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodsborns. And
you gotta armor that core.
Elden Souls.
I need to get a what was
Armored
the
Souls. Kamui Mark 17.
Kamui Mark 17. They made one in the PlayStation 2 or 3 era, right? The Chrome Dogs was one of those too, right?
There's one on PlayStation. There's a couple on PlayStation 2, and then there's one on PlayStation 3, I think.
Shit. To play the hell out of Armored Core 1. Remember we imported Armored Core... I can't remember what the third...
Let's check it out.
Powers of War.
Armored Core video game series.
It was a PlayStation 1 game. Remember we had that? It was a little... You had the thing you plugged in the back, and there's a spring.
Yeah, so that
you could switch out the discs. It's because it had to read the code from the US disc before you could put in the other disc. Woo.
It's on PlayStation 1.
I'll figure it out.
Was it Master of Arena?
Yeah, Master of Arena is the one we imported.
There's also Project Phantasma.
Yeah, that one came to the US, I remember. I actually think Master of Arena ended up coming to the US like 2 or 3 years after we imported it.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I'm trying to figure it. Yeah, whatever. No one cares. Actually,
it's definitely Master of Arena.
Podcast
Shut up.
care. The fucking we talk about Elden Ring and Armored Core. We're true From Software fans.
We
bitches didn't even know. In fact, I played Demon Souls on PlayStation 3. I played it before you guys even knew what Demon Souls was. You fucking losers.
Ooh,
that's right. I'm so cutting
nerd.
edge. So cutting edge. Cutting edge about shit I don't even care about. That's how cutting edge I am. Whatever. Fucking. I also watched another Chinese film this week called Hi Mom. It was like the second highest grossing film in China after The Battle of Lake Changjin.
Is it a comedy? Sounds like a comedy.
It is. You know, like how in the United States a comedian will get sort of popular and their material will be about their life. And then they'll get like a movie deal and the movie is also kind of about their life.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Like, what was that Pete Davidson movie that
King of Staten Island, I think?
Yeah, you know, it was like a fantastical version of his life or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what this movie is kind of. It's called Hi Mom. It's this comedian in China who's gotten really popular. What was her name? Let's check real quick. Jia Ling. It was written and directed by her. Wait, was it written direct? Yeah, she directed it too. That's crazy because the cinematography is actually pretty nice. It's like that super expensive digital, looks like a commercial kind of cinematography. But there's some to do some interesting stuff with that. As far as like landscapes and set,
yeah, but the lighting is probably terrible, is what I just heard.
It's just like really bright and everything's kind of like gold sheen to it. You know,
I watched for some reason Court and I started watching that Carol versus Joe. You know, the fictional version of Tiger King on Peacock, and the lighting is just god awful.
I didn't even know that existed. There is one scene in this movie though where they're clearly just on a digital backdrop, and it's like for this scene you couldn't just go
to the
find
place,
a hill over a rice paddy and film it. Like, there's
it's during COVID.
I guess it could be, but anyhow, it's all right movie. I watch a lot of East Asian movies as listening to the podcast now, but like the movies I watch generally are, aside from like some Japanese horror movies, they're not even mainstream in their home countries normally, right? Like I watched like Mandy, the equivalent of Mandy from these other countries. You know, not everyone's really watching.
Psycho Goreman.
This movie is like broad appeal to everyone kind of movie, right? So it's interesting to see what that looks like in China. And you know what it looks like?
Garbage.
Basically the same shit we get here. But what was interesting about it is I wanted to get a little bit more context about the movie. Sort of not culturally exactly, but sort of, I guess. So I was learning more about it. It was based on her actual life. Her mother died when she was 18, and so in this movie she goes back in time to 1981 to spend time with their mother as a young woman, right? And like attempt to change her life so that it ends up differently or whatever, that sort of thing. But what was interesting to me is how fawningly it depicted like 80s China. So I was trying to get more context for that. And apparently people our age and younger in China they're having their own like sort of
everybody's nostalgic for their fucking childhood, aren't they?
Nostalgia for like the 80s. And what's interesting about it, I saw people were saying the motivation for it because during that time period, as it was actually happening.
Well, that's like the kind of the opening to the West, right? Is right after the 70s.
Well, yeah, that's what they were pointing out, was that during that time period, everything Western was cool, right? Shit from America was cool. Everything Chinese is fucking whack at the time, right? And that's continued onwards until very recently in China. And there were some sociologists, I don't remember specifically what their credentials were, but people in China were speculating that the reason but now there's like the reverse is happening, where kids are starting to get like hell into older music from the 80s, like Chinese music and Chinese movies and stuff.
Mm.
There's like appreciation for being Chinese during that time period. So specifically 80s China, there's appreciation for. And at first I was like, I guess maybe propaganda, right? Like there's this new appreciation for China just because they're withholding a lot more Western shit, but also China's producing a lot of its own shit. So now they're able to be like, China's the best, and that's reflecting like on the youth culture there, right? But then I was checking out this Chinese Canadian guy who does critiques of East Asian film that I watch and read quite a bit. And what he was pointing out from time he'd spent in China with his relatives around his age and stuff like that is it's actually just very similar to what's going on in the West, where in China now kids are becoming really atomized. They're working like 50, 60 hours a week. They don't have any free time. They don't spend time with their family. They're in, you know what I mean, they're in financial problems, blah, blah, blah. And so now they're harkening back. Everyone's harkening back to what's perceived as a better time.
Which is basically when I had free time. Yeah.
Well, no, it's different because what you're referring to is you thinking about your own childhood specifically. This is like younger kids who weren't necessarily alive in the 80s, like Zoomers who are thinking or are interested in the 80s now because there was like a
depiction
shift from communal living and stuff in the 80s and that sort of thing. So they're, wistfully thinking of a time period where you actually got to spend time with your family. People lived more communally. It wasn't like endlessly work and achieving goals and blah 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 blah, and all this long ass nonstop talking about this movie and what it made me think about is just I just wanted to point out that apparently everyone in the entire world is just having the same fucking problems, and the world kind of just sucks, and everyone's working too hard and going crazy.
I wonder if that's I mean, on some level, that's kind of always been the case.
Well, what's interesting is like a lot of that malaise we have here in the United States is because of capitalism, right? And then in China, it couldn't possibly be capitalism because they have glorious Chinese communism, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck? How is it possible?
I don't know. I mean, I heard a U.S. senator a day or two ago, well, not a day or two, probably a week ago, say that the reason that Russia was invading Ukraine is because they're communists and needed the farmland. So that's fun.
Who, Ukraine or Russia's communists?
Russia's communists, and they invaded Ukraine because they needed the farmland.
That's interesting.
I mean, he was a football coach, so he was a senator, so what do you expect from him?
Actually, I think there a lot of people in the United States probably have the misconception that
Russia's still communist to some level. Yeah, whatever.
They don't know that there's a difference between the Soviet.
Yeah, those people don't matter. You know what I mean? They don't know shit about shit.
That college football coach who said that shit didn't matter either. He just is prominent enough.
No, the problem is he actually does matter. He's a fucking senator. There's only about 100 of them.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, anyways, I guess my point is, I guess I'm not gonna escape by going to China, huh?
I thought we already figured that out.
Fucking everyone's bummed out in China too, huh?
Let's look at the happiness index. Hold on, I'll figure it out.
Movie's actually pretty cool. A lot of the cast were just her like friends who were also comedians and stuff, so it was interesting. It was nice to see regular looking people in a movie. You know what I mean? That's
how they do it in America too. You know, one comedian gets famous and he makes a movie. And it's like, hey, comedian friends, you're all in it.
Yeah, that shit rules.
All right, so happiest countries. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Finland. Denmark. Yeah. Switzerland. Those are the top three. Iceland's number 3. Or I'm number 4, excuse me.
Those countries all have robust social safety nets, don't they?
Yeah, they're also all mostly Vikings.
They have their
well, Finland's not.
Their citizens' material interests are mostly taken care of because they have school, higher education, free healthcare. Finland even has universal basic income now, right? And Finland burns trash to create energy. Finland does seem pretty cool now I think about it.
Let's see what's after Iceland, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Luxembourg. Well, they're all rich in Luxembourg. Doesn't count. New Zealand, of course. Austria, Australia, Israel. That's weird. Germany.
I mean, if you're the people that are allowed to take polls in Israel, probably love it.
I guess.
You fucking most of the people in
yeah, I know, but it's like it's still like, you know what I mean? Like
it's not like they
every few years it's like, hey, let's go fucking blow something up, guys. I just don't feel like I would enjoy that. But maybe that's me.
But it seems like a lot of the citizenry of Israel are like mean. You know what I mean? Like they're really in the pocket of their government, where they're just like fucking don't ever fuck with Israel. You know. I think it's probably because they have forced conscription, so that's an easy way to brainwash most of your population, right?
Oh, well, that's that. I mean, then let's talk South Korea. Then don't they still do that?
Yeah, they do have forced conscription in South Korea.
Ireland is right outside the top 10, so I think it's Ireland and Costa Rica, which
South Korea's they were having. I think their presidential election is going on. It's like they're campaigning right now. Oh shit! The election is Wednesday, March 9th.
Yeah, it's coming up.
There was one candidate in South Korea, I believe, who mentioned something about getting rid of mandatory conscription, but they represent like the furthest left party there is in Korea, so they're not getting any votes.
Good luck, dude.
And even their air quote far left party in South Korea is probably like centrist, center right, you know.
Honestly, forced conscription is more common than you'd think around the world. And for sure, Russia has it, as everybody's learned this week.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I think Ukraine actually had it until like 2013 or maybe even 14, around the time of the first Crimea War.
They also had nukes until
yeah, I mean, sort of. They had a bunch of old Soviet nukes that they didn't have the codes for.
Yeah, they probably should have kept them though, huh?
Well, yeah, but what are they gonna do with them?
Blow up Russia?
How? They don't have the codes for them.
Just the threat of possibly nuclear war.
I think you have to replace like the cores on a lot of those missiles pretty often, right? At least like every 20 years or so. So I don't know how long they're good for. The shitty thing though is I'm pretty sure the Ukrainians are like, yeah, we'll give away all these Soviet missiles as long as you promise not to attack us, and if we get attacked, then someone has to defend us. And you see where that's led them.
Yeah, but see, the problem is Russia does have nukes.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know. Like, it's getting crazy out there.
It's getting hard out here for a pimp. That's true.
Yeah, well, it's getting hard out there for a lot of people.
What's interesting is that there's a poll where they asked Americans, like, do you think there should be a no-fly zone?
Well, that's because Americans don't know anything.
It's like and they're like, hell yeah, and it's like, man, what was interesting to me is just like how sometimes rephrasing things like politically really does seem to work.
Yeah, like here's how you should phrase the question: should American airplanes be shooting down Russian airplanes? Yeah. You know, then we'll get some pulled out of there.
Well, no.
I mean, here's the
do a no-fly zone. Just put up a sign. That'll stop.
No flying here, buddy.
Yeah, that's all it is. You just put a sign up.
I always assume there's some sort of radiation beam or microwave that we shoot into the air and say no flying, and it just makes them hover to the ground.
We use the advanced Star Wars technology that Ronald Reagan was talking about. Star Wars missile defense, but what we do is you just open up like a box in Ukraine and it creates a net that you can't fly through.
I thought it was like a magnet and just pulls everything metal to the ground.
Well, what about Iron Man? Iron Man. Yeah, that shit is crazy. Everything's
the
crazy.
one thing I will say is if Russia does actually end up invading Moldova or pushing this even further, like, I don't know, maybe they will be a no-fly zone. I don't know. It's fucking dangerous as hell, but
yeah, that's the problem. Is
they keep fucking escalating.
Yeah, but the thing is, for their part and the other world powers, is if you're a big enough country and you got the nukes, sometimes you kind of just can do what you want, huh? You know?
I don't know. And apparently, like, the British should have pushed their weight around a lot more than they have.
Well, Britain used to have the old kind of nukes back in the old days, which were just really fast, like ships.
A lot of they had all the ships.
Those were the nukes of the 1600s, 1700s. In the beginning, Master and Commander were like, the seas are now battlefields. It is England.
Yeah, and I mean, still I think the largest naval battle is still in the Punic Wars between Rome and Carthage.
No, it was England versus Catherine the Great's the Spanish Armada. England. Well, speaking of escalating tensions and war and how it's terrible,
this is vampires versus werewolves.
Former FBI special agent warns of alien UFO attack under false flag.
Oh, false flag for who though?
Ooh.
The aliens?
Mention false flag aliens and UFOs in a sentence, and most people are reminded of Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, that's what I thought of, for sure.
The infamous conspiracy theory of Serge Monast in the early 1990s, warning that NASA was working with the United Nations to establish a new age religion with the Antichrist at its head and start a new world order by creating giant holograms to fool the public.
This is what fucking Donald Trump was trying to warn us about.
It also, if you feel free to do your own research about.
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, just like I did it with the vaccine.
It's going to take you about 20 minutes before it gets to the anti-Semitic stuff. Actually, maybe not that long.
It could take you somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, oh, fucking blood libel again, huh? So, retired FBI agent John DeSouza. He's referring to the Tic Tac UFOs encountered by the U.S. military.
Oh, yeah.
And he's alleged inside knowledge that their sightings will increase under a fake alien invasion scenario to scare the world. He is quoted as saying, "One of the things that I see happening throughout 2022 is going to be they're going to make these Tic Tacs, and these Tic Tacs come in many different shapes and sizes. Like they're sometimes cylinders, not quite like a Tic Tac.
No, they won't always be Tic Tacs. Sometimes it'll be Rolos or peppermint patties.
There's sometimes motherships. They're all in different shapes and sizes.
Lifesavers, gumdrops, Nico wafers, if you will."
So John DeSouza was interviewed by Michael Sala, who is the founder of a website called exopolitics.org. He was also
That's not org, so it's legit.
He was also in the news recently, news in air quotes, because he said that Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine to gain possession of an ancient space ark, which the world.
I mean, that's as good enough logic as what he actually invaded Ukraine for.
Yeah, he invaded it for the space ark. What are you talking about?
Natural gas.
Natural gas. Fuck that. Russia doesn't need gas; they need a space ark. This is just one of two in Russia's possession, so I guess they have another one.
Oh, you gotta get the collectively. If you collect both, then you have control of time and space.
There are more managed by U.S. and China, as well as on the Moon and Mars.
Who has the Martian one?
China on Mars. Mars, China. In his quest to reveal what's really going on in the world of UFOs, extraterrestrials, and world politics, Sala interviewed DeSouza. DeSouza, FBI special agent, retired investigator for 25 years and collector of the real-life X-Files. He is also the author of 3 books on paranormal subjects.
David Duchovny, suck my dick.
What's the deal with these actual like government employees, FBI, CIA, high up military and shit that retire and then do go crazy? what's
I'm gonna go ahead and
like
say
crazy shit going on, or
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a lot to do with cash money.
I think it's MK Ultra.
That's still going on.
Yeah, but they're doing it. It's like their own employees and shit. I mean, I guess they were during MK Ultra. They were just like
they weren't really telling anybody
and shit. Yeah. He goes on to say, "Well, we're going to be seeing these Tic Tacs, also called UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, for you losers who don't know the cool hip lingo. We're going to be seeing them actually engaging civilian ships and vessels in a hostile, aggressive manner. They may not be killing people yet, but they will be doing things to disable ships, disable vessels, actually have real physical confrontation. Because at this point, they need to ratchet up the fear more than what it's been. It can't just be this, oh, the Tic Tacs appeared and they zipped around and then they disappeared. They're going to need to kick that up a little. They're going to kick it up a notch.
They're going to put some spice on it.
So what's interesting about this, there's more of the article, but as an aside is, so like there is something going on with unidentified aerial phenomena. Who knows what it is? But then what's interesting to me about it is it's probably not interstellar travel, because I mean that seems unlikely. But it is like, well, fucking what is it?
Me.
And and it's like, well, what could it be? It's probably not this. I mean, he's saying the aliens are. I'm not sure exactly.
Honestly, I think we talked about some of this previously, but it depends on the situation. The Tic Tac specifically, I don't know. Probably some sort of drone.
Let's read on, because at this point I'm not sure what he's saying that the false flag is that they're not actually UFOs, but we're gonna make it look like it's UFOs, or that the UFOs are gonna make it look like Russia did it or something. Right? Because he didn't. My calling is to show people they already have what they need to ascend. The first and greatest lie has been exploded, that this material facade is all there is. Next, we must awaken to our own supernatural abilities. These abilities must then be joined to faith and belief.
Our own supernatural abilities. I hope I get laser eyes or punch eyes like Cyclops.
Faith and supernatural abilities will then determine everything in life and beyond.
Faith and supernatural abilities. So, how much I believe in the Catholic God.
He's a fucking crazy person for sure. Oh, I just saw a picture of him. Alright.
You're looking good.
Let's go over this interview. Oh man, it's a video. They don't have a transcript. Fuck. I still can't figure out it, like, is he saying the aliens are gonna attack us and blame it on? Man, I don't know. Let's just speculate. What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't understand what he's trying to say. If the aliens are not real and that some government is trying to do a false flag to ratchet up, because it doesn't. I don't understand what he's trying to argue. Honestly, is he?
What the fuck? Hold on.
Are the aliens real and they're gonna start rationing up violence, or are they not real and someone else is doing a false flag?
Wait, so they mentioned Project Bluebeam at the beginning, but that was okay. I guess maybe he's still talking about. Okay, so he must be on this Project Bluebeam type tip too, where he's like, fucking, there's secretly NWO, New World Order, the Illuminati, Antichrist, one world government. Joe Brandon's eating babies and shit, right?
They're delicious.
They're gonna use a fake UFO attack to kick off World War III or some shit. I think maybe that's what he's saying.
You don't need a fake UFO attack to kick off World War III. Just have Vladimir Putin start doing some shit in Ukraine. We're halfway there.
That's World War PP, not World War III. Oh shit. So on the page with the interview on exopolitics.org, you can log in to leave comments using your Facebook account. Should we read some of the comments?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Hi, Wayward Sam. When I call up John's Twitter account, I always get the message that Twitter is blocked, but then it can't be my own account. when I call up John Stewart. What the fuck? Old people, man. Honest, straightforward, innocent, and even playful gentleman, seemingly holding no secret cards except for the ones he knows will get him off. Been talking for a while, presenting not much more information than the truth that the Cabal has to ramp up the fear, and we've all known the possibility of a false flag alien invasion. Mr. Solly seemed to think he's a joke by the way you look at him, and most of the comments on YouTube are that his stories are not credible. This is all one sentence.
With hyphens in between each word? Because that's how you read it, like you're fucking Blur from Transformers.
It was just like one big fat paragraph. I'm going to throw this in here because, well, why not? I have very vivid dreams. So real, I have difficulty telling the difference between them and reality.
Good. Great sign. We're off to a good start.
Really good start. Although some argue that dreams are memories of extra-dimensional experiences.
No, they don't. No one does that. Freud. That was Freud's whole thing.
About a week ago, I had a dream which was very chaotic in nature. It involved ETs, and I get a lot of that lately.
The actual ET? I love that guy. He loves Reese's Pieces.
You ever seen that tweet? It's one of probably the greatest tweets of all time, where this dude's just like, I know me and my friends when we were kids found ET, we would beat it to death with bats.
No,
that's just funny to me because that's like a legitimate reaction. Like us as kids with the kids in the neighborhood, like that's probably what would have happened. Been like attack the block. I heard someone state quite clearly, fire in the sky, no fire in the sky. It also involves a large hole in the ground that was so deep it seemed to go down all the way to hell.
Fire in the Sky is the episode of Transformers that we owned on VHS as children. I've watched it a million times.
Fire in the Sky is also the name of the Travis Walton abduction movie. I've watched a number of times. Travis Walton abduction took place in Flagstaff, Arizona. One time I went to Flagstaff with some friends who were from Flagstaff. And it was like traveling to Mecca for me.
Did in the documentary / movie, did anybody make a pun that says that's snow fair?
Fire in the Sky is a movie, not a documentary. You've seen Fire in the Sky. It came out in the 90s. I remember watching it with you when you were kids.
Yeah, I remember. I actually do remember Fire in the Sky.
You know what's lame about Snowflake? It's like not... It doesn't get cold enough there to snow. I mean, I guess it gets cold. It snowed there once in a while.
Isn't it because the people's names are Snowflake, right?
Yeah, the two founders were named Snow and Flake. Also, our
Jeff Flake,
senator, yeah, that motherfucker is related to that family, by the way.
Yeah, I think we I think we've covered this ground.
Bitch, motherfucker.
Well, you can't talk about it. I got to run for Congress against our fucking dentist-loving Putin cheering congressman.
Yeah, this fool Andrew Sellers predicted. I don't know. He kind of trails off. Doesn't say anything more about his dreams. So,
well, I'm just gonna drop this here and then start talking about something else.
There's only like a total of like 15 comments on this. So this website's about as popular as our podcast.
Well. Probably.
Black Dick Federation's councils and secrets.
Wait, but did you say Black Dick Federation?
Galactic.
Oh, I heard Black Dick.
Now
that's a better federation.
Presented by Dr. Michael Sala. Oh, hell yeah, we can... Holy shit, it's only $30.
Wow.
Man, this is fucking... This podcast, we're changing this podcast. We also need to scrub any of the previous information about us or the podcast off the internet. We're starting over again. We're doing this fucking alien shit, and we're gonna get rich. This is where the money is at, I think. Subscribe to our podcast for $50 a month to get access to the secret information that the New World Order doesn't want you to know. Turns out Joe Byron loves smooching.
Jill Biden herself is actually an octopus alien from Jupiter.
Actually, everyone already knows Joe Byron loves smooching. He's always smooching on kids. Everyone saw it. There's this RKX nephew, this very prolific rapper who's kind of he's like a new Lil B, where he just releases music nonstop on the internet. It's very memey and stuff. But one of his songs, he's like, traffic a bitch like Joe Biden, Glock kiss your kids like Joe Biden. Like he, I don't know, it's fucking hilarious to me. I really like that part of the song. Traffic a bitch like Joe Biden. God, kiss your kids like Joe Biden. It also doesn't really make sense. Like, Traffic is a bitch, and Joe Biden does kiss kids, but why Glocks don't? I mean, you're not supposed to be shooting kids.
I don't. You're not supposed to, but some people do it.
Like, yeah, but like on accident usually.
Sometimes you need to terrorize a population into surrendering, and how you do that? You shoot some kids.
Oh yeah, Israel knows quite a bit about that.
Huh?
Hey, take that, Bibi Netanyahu, you bitch, Israel, you bitch.
I don't think Netanyahu is prime minister anymore.
Yeah, but he's still like fucking.
Yeah, he's gotten away with it just like everybody else does.
He's still like all up in that shit too, anyways. Bum, 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 bum.
Bayraktar.
Someone should send that to take care of a little Netanyahu. Send a little Turkish drone, huh?
Yeah, Israelis really have better anti-air than the Russians.
Yeah, they have what is the fucking Iron Dome?
Yeah.
What is
That's
that
mostly
shit?
from like to ineffective Palestinian rockets. I don't know how well it'll do against.
I want to stop Bayraktar.
Yeah.
Bayraktar. Is it literally just an Iron Dome over Israel?
No.
Oh, that's crazy.
Sort of. In some places, but not exactly.
They're like fucking some Palestinian kids threw rocks at our soldiers. Let's fucking bomb them, and then they do it.
I mean, it's not even that. There's not even that level of justification in some cases. Sometimes it's just like, hey, we want the land over there, so we're a bunch of Jewish settlers going to go build a house, and you guys all got to move.
A bunch of assholes from Brooklyn need to live here, so bye. Fucking bye.
I'm the only one ever one that chosen as a child.
Man, that shit is crazy. Oh well, that's all I got this week. What else is there?
Bayraktar. I don't got nothing. I watched nothing this week.
Hell yeah, watch Hi Mom.
I watched Euphoria, the finale, and then we watched Love Is Blind. Have you watched that garbage reality show on Netflix?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's where they have people
blind people find love?
Sort of. Oh. They don't see each other, they just talk to each other to find love and to propose marriage.
Oh, just like based on personality and
yeah, but obviously everybody on the show is reasonably attractive.
Yeah, but they don't know.
I mean, they don't know, but you know. You know what I mean? Like, Netflix is gonna put a bunch of uggos on there.
Yeah, but even
they're not even gonna put a bunch of normies on there. And I hate the word normie.
If they put me on that show, and I'd be like, yeah, I know in the back of my mind, like, yeah, everyone's attractive, but like, what if they're not my kind of attractive? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the crux of the show, isn't it? Like, hey, is love truly blind, Kyle? Is it?
Well, no, it's not.
Yeah, well, as you find out, some people are like really excited to meet someone, and they meet them, and they're like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work out anymore, guy.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm one of those people that like, oh, it's all physical attraction, but there is, you know what I mean? I mean, there's how someone smells and walks and the way their lips move when they talk, you know what I mean? There's like little shit that you need to.
There's a certain element of physical attraction, especially at the beginning of a relationship, that's important. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, shit fades, obviously. You're not going to be young and pretty forever. And
I will be.
No, well, I have some bad news for you, Kyle. You're not as young as you once were. And you're probably not as pretty as you once were.
I'm getting younger somehow.
You're Benjamin Button in this shit. Yeah, but I guess that's where I come in. But in the beginning of a relationship, some level of physical attraction is important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just crazy. I don't know. I said before, like, people fucking finding love on the internet and shit, and it's like, fuck, you don't even know what his dick tastes like. You can't get married
yet.
That's the people who get married without having sex too. That's crazy.
That's weird. That's strange to me. But
nuts. Bayraktar. Everyone go listen to Bayraktar. Everyone watch Hi Mom. There's like a doo-doo scene in it. A scene where like the guy's got to go doo-doo real bad. So even the comedy of